Thank you very much, and welcome back. I hope everyone has a chance to grab a coffee and refresh yourself. And now I would like to introduce the next session. So in this session, we have 4 paper presentations, and each of the paper will address one of the very interesting topics regarding trust. So the first talk is from Kai Holländer from the Ludwig Maximilians Universität Munich. And I think the author or authors are already with us. So first I would like to ask Hailong to play the video. Then after this video, we will have about 5 minutes for question and answering. So let's start with the first talk.
Hello, my name is Kai Holländer and I'm a PhD student from LMU Munich. Welcome to my short presentation about conceptions to overcome trust issues in automated vehicles. Fully automated vehicles reduce the human influence in driving decisions and aim to increase traffic safety and efficiency. Therefore, they do not require a driver. However, as of 2021, most people have never used a fully automated vehicle. The Society of Automotive Engineers defines 5 levels of automation. This work regards the 5th highest level where no human input is required. To take advantage of the full potential of highly automated vehicles, they need to be bought and used by drivers. I believe that confidence in automated vehicles can enhance market success of the technology. Therefore, the main motivation of this work is to look at factors which might influence trust of users and also vulnerable road users, such as pedestrians or cyclists. Many people are likely to get in touch with automated vehicles as pedestrians before they drive one. Even drivers might walk sometimes and become exposed as vulnerable road users to automated vehicles. One major challenge in the context of trust is an adequate calibration of overtrust and undertrust. To this end, perceived reliability and actual reliability should be understood properly by the user. An example for overtrust would be a person who sleeps in an automated vehicle of SAE level 2 because the user thinks the system is capable to drive everywhere safely, which is not the case. Undertrust occurs, for example, if drivers park their car by hand, although they have a parking assistant which could park the car fully automated without human input. The main question is how to calibrate trust. Nethaven and Wiedmann created a nice graph which shows a proper calibration of trust. According to their work, decision support systems need an adequate calibration of perceived and actual reliability. The goal of this work is to identify influencing factors for trust calibration. Also, research opportunities are presented and ideas for future work. In related work, researchers mostly agree that trust in automated driving systems is one of the most influencing factors for the user adoption of the technology. Therefore, the question arises what influences trust in automated driving systems. For example, Tannenfield and colleagues say that trust is highly dependent on familiarity with the system. Hensley and colleagues emphasize the importance of situational awareness when using automated driving systems. According to Hensley, situational awareness in the context of dynamic systems is the perception of the elements in an environment bounded by space and time, as well as the understanding of the meaning and the projection of their state in the near future. Also, different cultures and various country-specific traffic regulations might challenge trust in automated systems, because drivers might not know if their driving system works according to the law, in case they drive with their car over the border to another country. In order to support a healthy development of trust in automated driving systems, a suitable mental model is required. In this context, Hailong Liu and Toshihiro Hiraoka, I'm very sorry if I've mispronounced your names, present a model which could help to prevent overtrust and distrust in automated driving systems. Also, the emotions of users should be regarded. Research in psychology shows, for example, that angry users tend to behave more risky. In order to create some kind of familiarity, future users of automated vehicles should receive targeted training, for example, as part of getting their driving license at driving schools. Also, users should know who is responsible if a crash occurs. Is it the person inside of the vehicle, or the manufacturer, or the software developers, or the seller of the car? Or do we need a completely new understanding of fault for automatic traffic accidents? Additionally, a very important aspect is to measure and assess trust of users in order to evaluate the quality of the driving system. This could be done by open interviews and/or questionnaires, such as the System Trust Scale (STS) or others. However, questionnaires are subjective and not real-time, so there is a need to identify a more real-time, hands-off way to measure trust and create comparable results. The possibility could be to measure physiological responses through electroencephalography, EEG, galvanic skin response, GSR, or a combination. The take-home message of my short presentation is, in order to create future automated driving systems which support an adequate calibration of trust, researchers and industry should, first, provide training and education programs for users. Second, consider trust calibration already in the early stages of the design phase. And third, find suitable methods to measure trust. I hope that these ideas can provoke some future work in the automotive domain. Thank you very much for listening. Also, many thanks to the organizers of this workshop and greetings from Munich to Nagoya. If you want to see the 2 pages workshop paper, please visit my ResearchGate page. You will also find this presentation as PowerPoint slides and video there. To make this presentation more accessible, there is a transcript of the spoken words in the lecture notes of the slides. Here are the used references. If you look at the paper, you will find way more references in the context of trust development and trust calibration. Thank you again for listening.
Thank you very much for the talk. I already say that Kai is with us, so I would like to open the floor to the questions. Okay, so maybe I have a very short question for you. In your presentation, you mentioned that we should come up with some measurement to estimate the level of trust. So I was wondering, what if we get the estimation from questionnaires or EEG or the other GSR? What if we got contradictory estimations? So how should we deal with those measurements?
Yeah, well, that is actually the problem, that we do have contradictory results. And I even saw sometimes meta-analysis papers where they tried to compare the levels of trust. But then if you actually look in the research questions of the specific papers, they investigate sometimes slightly different questions, and therefore the results are not comparable. And it would be nice to have like a framework where you could calculate a score for trust in the same way with the same questionnaires and same methods. And then you could repeat and compare the results all over the world with other studies. So this is basically the broad idea, but I did not get into detail there, and I do not have a specific suggestion on how to do it.
Okay, thank you very much. So are there any questions from the audience as well? We still have some time. Yeah, so there is one from Jin Yi. Just go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Kai, since you just mentioned the trust framework, right? I'm just curious, do you know if they were already related, like well-established trust framework, or like if there were some gaps in that trust framework?
Well, very interesting question, and you usually can detect an interesting question if you don't know the answer. So in this case, I would basically ask you to maybe talk to Philipp Wintersberger, because he is the expert in trust in the automotive domain, I would assume. So if there is a paper, I guess he knows. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Philip just send a test in the chat. Maybe Philip can also elaborate a little bit. Hello? Okay, so seems like, okay, he's still typing. Yeah, so okay. he just said that he had some hard time hearing. There are many frameworks around. Okay, so I think this is such a very nice open research area. Definitely we need more research in this direction. Yeah, okay, then we will see some links regarding the estimation or standardization of trust measurement. In meantime, we check if we have some more questions from the audience. Yeah, so since not the case, thank you very much again for Kai for the talk. And hopefully we will see each other soon. And let's continue to the next talk.